Okay, I think the recording has started. Okay. So with the issue about this trade, I know my chat is very somehow what noisy or clumsy. There are a lot of these things, trend lines on it. And all the trend lines that you are seeing here, what they have its own purpose, or the reason why I have done them. So I think there will not be need for me to remove them. So when I wake up early this morning, the market was still around this bearish candle here. And I saw the breakout here. So when I saw the breakout and the market was around this bearish red candle here, giving me a weak rejection. So I was having a trade out here, which was offering me only 25 pips. And I'm not a scalper, so I'm not interested in less than 40 pips or 30 pips. So I just allowed this opportunity to go. So I was waiting for the market to come back here. That's why I draw this zone, the rectangle you are seeing. And my reason was that if the market comes back to this zone without breaking the zone, there's a high chances that we'll have a push to the upside. Because if the market comes back here without breaking the zone, it means that we'll be creating a double bottom formation in the market. Understand? And when you check very well, when the market came back to the zone, the market really give us a small weak rejection. We are seeing the weak rejection. And I was also having my trend line here. So because of this trend line, I was expecting the market to make a retest to the trend line or breaking the trend line small before pushing to the upside. But I see what market did. When the market came back here with this small weak rejection, it gave us a pin bar formation. This small candles we are seeing, we call it pin bar formation or indecision.
Okay.
It's more or less a pin bar, you understand? So because of this
Yes.
pin bar, I was expecting the market to push small to the downside.
Down. Yeah.
Because I was expecting here, the move here. When you check where the market reverses somewhere here. So I was expecting the market to come in line with that zone you are seeing. And unfortunately, the market didn't act that way because the selling pressure was not enough in the market again to push the market to that zone or to that area. So I didn't enter the trade. So I was waiting for this thing, for the next candle. I'm talking about this big bullish candle you are seeing to try
Yeah.
and
You
give it that move.
we picked the buy limit from that candle, right?
From that candle, it was just
Yes.
here that we picked the buy limit, you understand? So I was, and that time the market was somewhere here. So I was just needing some small push from the sellers to come back and hit my buy limit order. You can see the gap is very small.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the
Yes.
fact that the sellers were not just strong in the market, so they couldn't push it to the downside again. You understand? Though
Yes.
I wanted us to enter the trade, but you all knew that in our entry criteria, we said when we see a pin bar or a weak rejection or indecision candle, we wait for a momentum push to the our anticipated direction. You understand? So I was waiting
Yes.
for
Yes.
something like that, for the candle to close somewhere here. You understand? Before continuing to
Yes.
the upside. So when you even check, initially I was targeting 50 pips here, 50 pips. So because of the zone is a strong zone, this area, it has been
Yes.
tested twice. And this is
Twice.
twice. This is the third time of testing. So I was
Yes.
not confident enough that it will give us the 50 pips that we are targeting. So that I quickly
Okay.
move it to 40 pips. I was having 40 pips take profit point. You understand? So I was
All
very
right.
confident that before the market make a retest, it have to break this zone and make that retest. But for me waiting for the market to push back to this buy limit zone, that was my mistake. You understand? And it's not a mistake. It's normal
It's not a
because
mistake.
it's not a
Not.
mistake because it's always good to wait for much clarification or confirmation before entering your setup. But because
Yeah.
of the momentum, and I think the reason why this thing happened is that it was almost getting to opening of this thing, London session.
Okay. Okay. That's around
And I
9.
know that,
London station is around 9. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, London session open. So the market was volatile. It was very strong. Momentum
Yeah.
was strong in the market because we were still in the
And
initial session.
and
That's why
I
we're
think
seeing this consolidation.
USD is a little bit poor this morning.
Yeah, it's
It's
weakening.
very,
It's
very
weakening.
weak.
But I've
Yes.
checked all the pairs, and I've seen that USD was what weakening. It also gave me a
Yeah. Yeah.
confluence. But the
Yeah.
mistake what I've learned from this setup is that during trend line bounce or key area, rejection of key areas with this pin bar, the market respects it a lot on this pair, on GBPUSD. When you check the previous charts on this thing, key zones or key areas or what, this thing, trend line rejection, you will see that the market is respecting those areas too much. So because I didn't check that, I could have what? Get this in the setup, the trade somewhere here, immediately the close of this what pin bar. That's why I
Okay.
would have entered the market. But I didn't check to see what is the market respecting what pin bar or this and this
Timber.
weak
All right.
rejection. It's qualified to call a pin bar. So after that, I quickly go back to what the previous chart, and I saw that the market has been respecting. For instance, if you see something here, this small pin bar you are seeing, the market is respecting it. You understand?
Yes.
The market is respecting that small pin bar out there. And when you go back to the previous chart, I'm coming. So when we are scaling back to our previous chart, you can see here, trend line
Yes.
bounce with
Timber.
this pin bar, market move to the
Yeah.
upside. You understand? So it happens in the market. It happens. The market is respecting this pin bar too much. You can see something here, trend line bounce.
Especially GU, Abi.
I'm calm. GU. It happens a lot on GU. You can see another example here. This one is a pin bar. You can see the move to the upside. You understand? It is to around trend line level or key area. The dark line that you are seeing, it is what a market close of this in previous chart. When I let them change the distance to what line charts. And I think I have not seen it about this one, the line chart. I haven't said anything about it since we started our classes.
No, 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 no.
Yeah. It's very, very effective
I don't
and
know about
very, very
others.
good.
Yeah, I don't know about others,
Yeah.
but for me, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's helped a lot when you are to what to mark your distance, your key areas or your key zones. It's good you switch your chart to what line charts. That's where you're seeing the
Yeah.
close of the market, every candle, the closing point of the every candle. So we will be marking your distance where the market is closing or reacting before you then switch your candlestick chart. I'll get a day and talk about it, how powerful it is.
Okay. All right.
So when you check, you will see these are the weak rejection out here, pin bar, you understand? And the market is what is pushing to the downside. The market is respecting what this pin bar too much. Another what this pin bar here, and this is what indecision candle also on what on trend line level, and see the push to the downside. So when you check very well, you will see that the market has been respecting this thing and this candlestick pattern. Someone is asking a question. F. Hello.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Sorry. I'm with you now.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. All right.
So okay, let's continue. So I've flipped back to this in my previous chart. I have realized that the pin bar has been respected a lot, especially whenever it reaches a trend line level or a key area or key structure in the market. It has been respecting a lot. So if I knew it earlier on that the market has been respecting this pin bar and this, and when the market reaches to a key level or a trend line bounce, you would have caught this in the move without missing it. Though me myself, I didn't enter it, I didn't trade it. I also miss it. So even when I wake up and I saw it, I was not having even up to 15 loss, 15 pips stop loss. It was giving me somewhere 10 pips. I was having 10 pips stop loss. While
Okay.
anticipating to get what 50 pips, which is very what this in a good risk to reward ratio. Understand?
Yeah.
But it happens all the time in the market. Sometimes you might be waiting for more confirmations to what to increase the chances of you winning your setup. But that's in process of that, you might also miss a what some setups if the market is very volatile and moving fast, as what is just happening now. You understand? Because the market was very strong. And even yesterday, I told you guys that before we have a buy confirmation, we must expect the market to close above this zone and giving us a retest. And this is a retest here. Before moving to the outside. I think we discussed this yesterday. And when we check the distance, our additional confirmation was what? The opening candle, the opening of the daily candle. You understand? The opening of the daily candle was giving us a what? A buy signal. Because we said whenever the market is what? Above the opening of the daily candle, we'll be having what? Buys. So when I switch to what? The daily candles and I mark the opening of what? My daily candle and came back to my 15 minutes, my entry minutes time frame, I saw that the market was above, was trending what? Trading above the opening of the daily candle, which was also giving me what? Another confidence to buy the market. But because I was waiting for what a momentum push to my my anticipated direction, that's why I couldn't what get that move, and we missed the trade. But you see, it happens in trading. It's not all the time that you have a winning setup. Understand? So we're waiting
Yeah.
for another
Yeah.
opportunity to come, and I know there will be a lot of opportunities in the market.
Yes.
And
So
what I want
there's
to
always
listen
there's always
lead with you guys is that sometimes when you have, for instance, when you are trading for a pro firm accounts, and
yeah.
maybe it happens that you didn't meet their targets, and the time limit has what reached, or maybe you have violated one of their principles and they've taken their accounts. It isn't that you are not good as a trader. You understand?
Okay.
In the market, when you are trading with your own capital, you have much, let's say, much time, enough time, like to wait for a what a high probability setups in the market because you are dealing with your own money and there's no any
Yes.
time limit or duration to you. Understand? So you have much what time, enough time, patience to wait for what a mature setup, good high to risk to reward ratio setup to trade the market. But when you are trading with a pro firm, you don't have enough time. You always want what to meet their target before the time is up.
Yes.
You understand? So some of you, when
You
this
always
thing
want to
happens
trade
and you are
every
not able
day.
to meet their target, yeah, and they take their account with you, it isn't that you are a bad trader. You are not a bad trader. Just that the time limit is very small. For instance, if someone who is trading one setup every day, it means that you have only 20 setups to complete the account to get what they want. So in the 20 setups that you have, how many are you going to win and how many are you going to lose? You understand? And most of we, the beginners, whenever we fail a distance, a profirm setup trading account, like we feel that we are not like professional enough or we are not good enough what to trade the market. It's not like that. Trading with a
Yes,
pro
yeah.
firm is just like what trading a what with a borrowed fund. For instance, when you take a loan and
I
you
don't
have to trade with a loan money, you are always eager
seriously
what
don't
to
know
make
what
the money and pay out
so
your loan and be free. So your mind is not at rest at a point eh, where you have much confidence or patience to wait for what good high probability setup market. Uh-huh. So when you purchase it and you are not able to pass it, it is not like you are not good trader. You are a good trader because of what the time limit. But a lot of people are not taking it into consideration. But it's very, very important. It's very important to take this into consideration.
yes, yes, yes.
So I also think trading with
I don't know whether
prop.
we are making sense here.
Yes, I said I also think trading with a prop firm is actually going to
Okay.
discipline
So
beginners.
I don't know. Do the whole of this week, I don't plan of trading gold, but
Hello, can you hear me?
yeah, bro. Yeah. You come with your question. Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Hello. Hello. Okay, I think he has left. So, do you have anything that you want to ask about? My big man, you have something to add? I think we have been on the same platform, so I know how good you are. So you can add something.
Can you hear me very well?
Yeah, but you are back. Wow, your network is disturbing.